Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we unpack the hidden stories within company filings. And today we're diving into McEwen Incorporated's latest report. Get ready because this one involves a bit of a corporate shuffle that could change the game. Before we dive deep, if you love getting unfiltered insights from corporate documents and want to know what is really going on behind the scenes, make sure you're subscribed. And for those who want to connect with other eager learners and discuss these deep dives, I've linked our Discord community down in the description. So what is the big news here? McEwen Incorporated is making moves to acquire Canadian Gold Corp. This isn't just a small purchase, it is a full takeover, a plan to buy up all the outstanding shares of Canadian Gold Corp. They're paying for this with their own company's stock. Think of it like trading one company's IAS for another's. This whole deal is being done through a court-approved plan of arrangement, which is basically a formal legal way to make a big business merger happen, especially when you're dealing with different provinces. The details of this agreement are pretty much in line with what they discussed in a previous report back in July. Now let's talk about how this trade works for every share of Canadian Gold Corp that someone owns. They get 0.0225 shares of McEwen Incorporated. However, there is a little catch here, especially for Robert McEwen himself, who holds a significant chunk of stock. If he is set to receive more than 1% of McEwen Incorporated's total shares after the deal, that part will need approval from McEwen Incorporated's stockholders, meaning their shareholders will have to vote on it. If these shareholders don't give the okay, then Mr. McEwen will get cash instead of stock for those extra shares. Canadian Gold Corp shareholders also need to give their thumbs up, with a significant majority needed, and there are special rules to protect the minority shareholders. Once this is all done, Canadian Gold Corp will become a fully owned part of McEwen Incorporated. The agreement also has some standard business protective clauses. McEwen Incorporated has the right to adjust the deal if Canadian Gold Corp gets a better offer, and there is a breakup fee of about 2.195 million Canadian dollars if certain things go wrong, like if the deal falls apart under specific conditions. Interestingly, the board of directors at McEwen Incorporated approved this deal, but, and this is important, two key individuals, Robert McEwen and Ian Ball, who have potential conflicts of interest because of their ties to Canadian Gold Corp, actually abstained from voting on this. They recognize they have a stake in Canadian Gold Corp, and therefore stepped aside from the decision-making process for McEwen Incorporated's board. This suggests a move towards greater transparency and avoiding even the appearance of impropriety. This agreement, like most big deals, comes with a bunch of conditions that need to be met before it is finalized. There are also the usual promises and assurances that companies make to each other in these kinds of agreements. These are standard clauses that protect both parties and ensure the deal is properly laid out. The report mentions that these promises are made for the benefit of the parties involved on specific dates, and we should look at other company filings for more factual information about McEwen Incorporated itself. The deal also needs approvals from various courts and exchanges, like the TSX Venture Exchange, the Toronto Stock Exchange, and the New York Stock Exchange, before it is a done deal. This next bit is about how the shares will be issued. The shares that McEwen Incorporated will give to Canadian Gold Corp, shareholders will be issued through a private placement. This means they be registered with the broader public market right away, using an exemption from registration under the Securities Act of 1933. This is a common practice in mergers and acquisitions. Then there is a press release from the 14th of October announcing this arrangement agreement. This is a way for the company to inform the public immediately about the news. The information in this press release is furnished with the report, but it is not considered officially filed with the SEC in the same way other parts of the report are. This means it is for informational purposes, but not subject to the same strict legal liabilities. Alright, now for the really important part for any investor, the financial health and forward-looking statements. The detailed arrangement agreement itself is attached as an exhibit, and the company encourages everyone to read it, because it contains a lot more specifics than what is summarized here. This section is crucial because it tells us what the company expects to happen in the future. They re-talking about optimistic scenarios, like the benefits of this acquisition, including gaining 100% ownership of the Tartan mine, and how this will impact their future financial performance and operations. They reusing phrases like expects, anticipates, and will, which are red flags that these are predictions, not solid facts. And here is the reality check. These optimistic predictions are not guarantees. They come with a whole list of risks and uncertainties that could make things turn out very differently. They're admitting that actual results might be nowhere near what they're hoping for. They base these predictions on assumptions that they believe are reasonable right now, like being able to get all the necessary approvals on time and on good terms. but they also acknowledge that delays can happen for many reasons. The risks here are pretty significant. The main worry is that the deal might not happen at all, or it could take way longer than planned. There is also the chance of unexpected costs or problems popping up. They specifically mentioned legal actions that could be filed, the possibility of the deal being terminated due to unexpected events, and the risk of not getting the necessary shareholder and court approvals. If the deal doesn't go through, they warn that the announcement alone and the resources spent trying to make it happen could badly hurt their stock price and their business relationships. Finally, we have the signatures making this report official. Carmen Diges, the General Counsel, has signed off on this report on behalf of McEwen Inc, dated the 16th of October 2025. Now, let's look at this from a higher level, a Warren Buffett kind of viewpoint. McEwen Inc is clearly in an expansion mode, aiming to grow by acquiring Canadian Gold Corp and consolidating ownership of the Tartan mine. This shows ambition, but also comes with a significant amount of execution risk. The reliance on shareholder approval, court sign-offs, and exchange nods means there are many potential points of failure. The fact that they included such a detailed cautionary statement about forward-looking statements is a good sign. It means they being upfront about the risks. However, the success of this deal hinges on getting those approvals and navigating potential roadblocks. If they pull it off, it could significantly boost their assets and operational capacity. But if it falters, the cost of trying could be a serious blow. The company's strategy seems to be focused on consolidation and inorganic growth. The question for investors is whether this acquisition will truly add value and synergy, or if it is just adding complexity and risk without a clear path to profitability. We need to keep a close eye on how they manage the integration, and whether the projected benefits of owning the Tartan mine fully materialize. The risk of the deal not closing, or closing with unforeseen complications, is a very real concern that investors should weigh heavily. Alright, that is our breakdown of McEwen's latest filing. What is your take on this acquisition plan and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments if this analysis was valuable. Hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.